Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Goblin Ringleader podcast. I am your host, Jack, and today we're going to be reviewing some Goblin gameplay that I do at my local LGS. This was against Mono Green Tron. I hate to cover all this up. Go check out MTGChicago. They're the people who record our LGS's games. Moxfield's an amazing tool that we use to make deck lists and provide content. Discord to reach all of us here at the Boar's Hat. Tales from the Tap is the podcast that the local people that I play with have, and the Boar's Hat is the store aforementioned. So check them out. Playing here against one of the owners of the Boar's Hat, Stan. Stan is a very good Magic player. One of the people who helped me get good scrub. Now we're going to go through the match. I'm on Goblins. He's on Mono Green Tron. I started off with a turn 1 Skirk, anti-solve reveal Skirk, so it enters untapped. He goes with a turn 1 map. Very, very fast-paced game because we both know exactly what we're trying to do. I am attempting to kill him as fast as possible. I put him to 19 with the Skirk. He's attempting to assemble Tron as efficiently as possible. He has the ability to assemble Tron because he has the map, and if he kept his hand, then he at least has one other Tron piece. Tron usually goes to 3 consistently just to find the 3 Tron lands. So there is the tower, and now he has the ability to find I believe it's the mine that he's missing. However, I have the ability to go infinite on turn 3 with Snoop plus Harbinger. Harbinger allows you to change the top card of your library from whatever it is to a Kikijiki, and then you tap Snoop to make infinite tapped Snoops. The last one enters untapped. You tap target a Harbinger, enters untapped, changes the top card from Kikijiki to Sling Gang, and you drain all your goblins for 8 million damage, or however many millions. This game, he's in the play, same start. He does not have 2 Tron lands, so I know that I am safe to go a little bit slower this game, play a more aggressive strategy. So I believe this is not a game where I'm able to combo per se. I believe that I have to act like I'm going to attack and then wait for him to play like a value line to attack my threats, like an O-Stone or a Karn grabbing bridge, and then afterwards, then I kill him. I do have the Harbinger in my hand, but I don't believe that I have black mana. I could just be wrong and I just win here though. This was a little while ago. But turn 3, no Tron. Opts to... He's probably looking... If he plays that, he's probably looking to try to get an Ancient Stirrings going. I have the black source, so I'm able to try to go infinite. Harbinger on the stack. I ask him if he has a response. He probably has he has a Warping Wheel. And so he's trying to figure out how he's able to time it. So I say, well, I know you have a Warping Wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the top card of the library to a Kikijiki. But then this is a cool point of interaction you can do with priority. If you pass, because you can tap it at any time. I don't know why I don't do it there. I believe that I'm okay with just untapping and making infinite guys during my turn. I believe that was my logic. But you can, if your opponent just has a Warping Wheel, you just pass, and then you make them hold up the Warping Wheel for the rest of the game. Here he's going to be able to grab Pithing Needle, and so we do end up... I believe this is where my memory came from of us playing a longer game. But that was a misplay for me. I should have definitely... I think it's a map, not a Pithing Needle. Fascinating. So if I untap and I have a Matron in my hand, the Vial goes to 3, I can Matron for a Harbinger and then cast the Harbinger and I win. You can also do it inversely. You can cast the Matron with your mana and then Vial in your Harbinger, whichever you're more scared of getting countered, if you're in a matchup that plays blue spells. But for now, this looks like a very straightforward turn. So he grabs the mine, so he's able to go Karn and have a mana left for Pithing Needle. This makes sense. makes sure that he has the Pithing Needle in his sideboard. Then he goes 5 mana Karn. In response, because you can name Pithing Needle, it's an as, so I have to respond, and so he can't spike my Aether Vial. Instead, he names Snoop, which is the correct line. This forces me to be in an aggressive strat. So now I go to my turn. I skip my draw for some damn reason. And I'm just too excited to try to play this fair game. Usually with Goblins, the game ends on turn 3, one way or the other. Your opponent either crushes you, you're playing Rhinos or Domain, or you win on turn 3. So being able to grind and play this long game is something that I enjoy to do, because I don't get to do it that often. And all your cards, almost all your cards, give you mana advantage or card advantage of some kind. Especially with the addition of the Lords. The Lords are probably, in my opinion, one of the sleepers of the deck. To be able to on board wipe, flip like 3 or 4 cards, and then be able to cast all of them until the end of your next turn, it's just insane. So my opponent taps for a ring here, gets protection, pops the star, makes a green, I believe, draws another card. Untap upkeep. This will go to 4, and I'll draw. I believe I'm trying to get that to 5, so I am able to violin my Kiki-Jiki. Show you a Krenko so the Anti's Hovel enters untapped. Now I'm contemplating whether or not I hardcast the Krenko, or if I use the Vial so that I can Krenko it in at the end of his turn in case he has an O-Stone. I opt for just getting the most value out of my board, just playing a Harbinger on the stack, trigger resolves, change the top card. Top card goes from so yeah, just grab a Lord. Because this is my O-Stone insurance. I can sack, a Harbinger now. Or a Skirk, whichever I don't want more. Sack a Skirk. Cast the Lord. Now, top card, another Skirk. Now I pass because I have 3, 6, 9, 11, 12 damage on board. And he's at 18. Another land. Reading the Lord means he drew either a removal spell or some point of interaction. This looks like an Ulamog to me. All is Dust. Even better. All of Dust is one of the best cards. So I sack all my colored permanents. And then I do get death triggers. I'm asking if they are going to die. And no, because because of the Olive Dust, I need to sack, I believe it's Exile. Yeah, so I need to, in response to that, sack everything with the Lord last, then I sack the Lord. And I get 7 triggers. Sorry, 5. 5 triggers. Can't count. I get a Krenko, a Harbinger, and a Skirk to set me up. And yeah, my opponent is looking at me like, wow, I wish that put me in a better spot. Now, the cool thing about playing this deck is even though my opponent, they have a Wormcoil engine, ordinarily that would just be game over. I get to violin the Krenko at the end of turn because I protected it from the board wipe. And now I show you the Kiki-Jiki, so my land enters untapped. I'm going to cast the Skirk Prospector. I'm going to cast the Boggart Harbinger. I'm going to change the top card of my library to a Ringleader. because that's just like the natural thing to do in this position. You just grab the card that draws you the most cards, and you try to outvalue your opponent. What's crazy is Ringleader outdraws the ring. Like Ringleader draws 4 right off the bat, which is crazy. So I opt to not attack with my Krenko because logic. I have the Vial on 5, and I'm just chilling. Draw 3 cards. Totally fine with that. They get to put themselves even lower, and now we're just in a position where we're trying to just hit them with 1/1s and get there very, very, very slowly. The worst card in this position would be Karn for bridge. I don't really have an out for bridge right now. They're going to attack with their Wormcoil Engine. I'm going to tap, make 3 guys. I'm going to block with 1 of them, and then sack it so that he does not gain life. And then he plays an O-Stone, and he has the O-Stone mana up, so he can blow it up at any time. And he plays another One Ring, so I can't deal him any damage. He's buying himself a lot of time. Unfortunately, I get to draw a billion cards next turn. He does have his O-Stone crack up, but this is totally fine with me. Because upkeep, draw. I believe, yeah, cast Ringleader. Trigger. I just get Munitions Expert, which is not the card you want here. But it is a goblin. It does count as a goblin. Now, I'm going to go to combat, I believe. No, because I can't attack. I believe I pass. Krenko is able to tap when I need to. End of turn. He's going to blow up the O-Stone. I will respond by vialing in my Kiki-Jiki and copying my Ringleader. It's a hasty copy of my Ringleaders, what I was showing. 3, 4. Oh, that one is 4 lands. So it gets me 4 bad draws gone. All of my goblins are dead. He has 2 different 3/3s. Untaps with a ring. I am at 12. Draws 2 cards. Karn. Yeah, and I pick it up to Karn because at this point, yeah, I don't have any outs. No cards in my hand. The One Ring, chaining the One Ring was really good in that game. So, game 3, I'm on the play, and we are attempting to just go as fast as possible. I feel like I punched that game 2 really hard. The way that you interact with one removal spell is you pass your turn, and if your opponent goes to tap out at the end step in response, because they want to use their mana, any mana that you make them hold up throughout the game slows their game down, their tempo game down enough, whereas the Goblins player, you will outpace them and you will win the race. So I should always try to, if I see one removal spell and they let the Harbinger, this is the big thing for you playing at home if you ever play against Goblins. With the Harbinger trigger on the stack, you want to kill, or trigger can resolve. When you go to make the infinite guys, the last one's going to tap to target the Harbinger, shoot the Harbinger, and you'll have all the snoops will be tapped. And then when you go to the end step, they'll be sacked. That's why you want to combo in the end step, because then they'll be alive until the end of the next turn, even if they kill your Harbinger. The way that they play around that is they shoot your Harbinger in response. If you do it before the trigger resolves, they can put another Snoop on top or another Ringleader on top. They can change the top card. You want that top card to be Kiki-Jiki because it's 5 mana and it's almost a dead card in every matchup. And so if you make them put it on top and then ping the Harbinger at the end of the combo, everything falls apart. Sorry. Resolving mulligans, I believe we all go to 6. Shout out to my friend Dylan and Connor, who signed my playmat. Yeah, just shows no lands. I have a halfway decent hand, I believe. If I recall correctly, this is a turn 3 kill. Could be wrong, but I do believe this is a turn 3 kill. I'm seeing a Snoop. I don't see the Harbinger right now, but I could be wrong. Oh, I do see it. I just flicked it to the top. So I think the hand is Auntie's Hovel, Mountain, Vial, Snoop, Harbinger. Which, you have all the lands, you have your Vials. Hand's good. My opponent probably has to mulligan to just Tron and hope that I don't have it on turn 3. Den into Vial. Sphere. Double Mountain plus Den into Snoop. Blind flip Kiki Jiki. So now if I have a Lord, I can win. I don't even need red mana. I can just go untap, upkeep. Goes to 2 before my draw. I'll tap to make infinite Snoops. The last one will be untapped. This represents infinite counters, infinite tokens. And so now I'm just hoping to draw either a Skirk Prospector, a Ringleader, a Lord, a Harbinger. It's a land. So, but now, show you the Kiki Jiki, attack, and all the tokens go away. So I had nothing. But we got to attack for 2. And if we flip something good there, we did just win. So I felt okay about that. Opponent has a basic forest, Sylvan Scrying, which means that they don't have Tron right now, but they can have definitely Tron next turn. They can definitely have Tron next turn. I feel like the Goblins player here is definitely behind because I am just casting a Krenko and hoping that that's good enough. My opponent, however, I believe, if I remember correctly, doesn't have any payoff. They have all this mana, and they just cycle, cycle cards over and over again. Yep, they just cycle cards with their mana, and they pass their turn. I have nothing currently in my hand besides the Kiki Jiki. However, I believe that this blind flip is good on the Snoop. He's looking really hard for a dismember. Goes to 4 and I'll draw. Another land. At this point, just activating Den. And then attacking. Just attacking with a Krenko, which is wild. But we're pushing damage. My opponent goes to 5. And then I have this land, putting them to 1 next turn if they have nothing else. End of turn, they're going to crack both the spheres. No. They are hoping that they find the dismember so they have the mana from the spheres so they don't have to pay for life. Crack, draw, make a black. Crack, draw, make a black. And Ancient Stirrings. Looking for a Karn. I think they find the Karn, or Ostone. Ostone's 1 turn too slow though, unless they have a Tron piece. Tron land? Tron land? Ooh. Because they have the mana floating. The 2 black. So he does have the Ostone up. Draw. Top card is a Snoop. O-Stone reads non-land, right? Is the question that I asked, I believe. And it does read non-land. So I activate my den, and then I'm able to just spike them in because Kiki-Jiki? Boom. He had the Dismember. He drew it. Must have been his last card, but it would have put him so dead because he would have died to the other things. Yeah, it was really close. Really close. Good games by Stan. A little bit sloppy on my end, but that's the first one. So thank you for being here, and I hope to see you guys in the rest of it. Good vibes, hydrate or dihydrate, and go crazy.